This is $2 million.
Yeah.
$2 to $3 million. It's a 7-liter V8. It's crazy. It only revs up to 5,000 RPMs, making 500 horsepower, and it's 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. It's a pretty fast car. This is one of those cars that Ford took to Ferrari, basically giving the middle finger.
It's going to be $1 million car one day in our lifetime, probably very soon.
If you look at the car from a rear quarter point of view, there's that F1 like tunnel where like you can see through the whole car.
Yeah. I picked the LFA for its cool factor, the fact that they only made 500 units, the fact that this is a naturally aspirated V10 coming out of Japan. It sounds like a Formula One car,
Yeah,
right?
there was no budget in mind. Well, there's a budget, but I just didn't care. I had to have this car. I'll buy it from you for double what you paid for it. Do you know who drove this car? Batman. The best Batman, by the way, Christian Bale.
If I could just come back to the LaFerrari, one of the reasons, money no object, I think it's such a beautiful looking car. It's probably the best design from Ferrari.
But this would be like, I think if you buy this car, since it's so much money and at our age, you're not thinking of flipping in the future. I think this is a forever car. You just enjoy. Forget about the mileage.
Yeah.
Forget about everything else associated with the value.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Car Talk. We're here with the usual suspects again, and in this one we're going to talk about our dream 5-car garage with a limit. Obviously, it's no money.
For Lucas
no
and I, you do what you want. It's your show.
Realistic numbers, not not $5 million
cars that we'd like to own at some point in our life and could be a reality.
Yeah.
So I took the assignment in a different direction, and they took the assignment in a different direction. So let's see where it all comes together. But the one catch to this is we have to have one from each continent.
Each country.
Yeah.
So US, Japan, Germany,
Italy,
and UK. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick the country, and we're going to go around, pick one, reveal our picks for each one of them, and then we'll go around. If you also want to put your comments down below in which ones you pick as your 5-car dream garage, let us know in the comments as well. So let's go. We'll start with USA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Well, we all know what car we chose.
No. This might buck the trend because like the last couple episodes, it's been a lot of Corvette love.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't know what order we'll go in. Probably do you want to go first?
If you want to go first, go ahead.
Well, you go first. Let's see the lottery win.
I kind of biased myself though.
You went vintage, eh?
I went with money no object.
The GT40.
Yeah. So it was the GT40 Mach 4.
Okay.
It's the one that won the Le Mans.
So like 67.
Yeah.
So Mach 4. What does Mach 4 mean? Like, what makes it special?
Or you say Mark? I think it's Mark 4.
Yeah, well, Mark 4 or like version 4 or whatever.
Okay.
So if I go here, this is the car.
So
the
it's
Heritage livery.
That's like the actual race car.
Yeah. So
that's streetable. I mean, that's street worthy as well.
Yeah.
That car.
Yeah.
So it's
okay. Like not replica, but an actual GT4. So you won the lottery in this assignment.
Yeah. So I kind of. Anyway, this is $2 million.
Yeah.
$2 to $3 million. Okay. It's a 7-liter V8. It's crazy. It only revs up to 5,000 RPMs, making 500 horsepower, and it's 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty fast car. And the reason why that all makes sense is it's lightweight. That was the whole premise behind this. Yeah. This is one of those cars that Ford took to Ferrari, basically giving the middle finger. I think in a dream garage where money was no object, this would be one of the ones that I'd have. But money being an object, that's a different story.
Mm-hmm. Do you find this car gives you like Lamborghini Miura vibes?
Yes.
It does, eh?
Yeah. No,
I think it was in the same era, right?
Yeah.
The Miura.
Yeah, they are in the same era. I think the development of this preceded when the Miura was released. So it's a GT40 because it's 40 millimeters, or 40 inches tall.
Oh, is that why it was?
Yeah,
I didn't know
that's
that.
why it's called GT40 from like the top of the roof line to the ground.
Have you seen Ford versus Ferrari?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the comments they had. In the
I
movie.
didn't even pay attention. I got to
rewatch.
rewatch.
Gurney bubble to accommodate the helmet. I can give you my selection if you're that, because it's tags onto this.
So one of the reasons Well, when you pick a 5-car garage, right? What's kind of the criteria? For me, I think I wanted a classic in there and somewhere. So that's one of the things. I want it to be engaging and connected with you as a driver. I didn't want all the cars to be just about the flex.
Yeah.
I wanted some cars that are like driving. You're connected to the driving.
Yes, of course.
They do a lot of replica, like Super Performance does replicas of this. So you could get, like, to salvage you in this assignment, you could get a really well done replica for 150.
Really?
Yeah. Of
No
this
way,
car,
eh?
of the GT40.
What's the base?
Well, they do their own, like, tube chassis. It's a Ford power plant. Like, I think you probably spec it out differently. Like,
I think they just recreate the body and put it on a Ford power plant.
Like a Mustang or something?
No, like they'll use. Well, you can use a Coyote motor, but you can use like something more powerful. Like they have a 5.2 supercharged motor too. You can put whatever you want in there, but you'll have the body of a GT40 on a custom tube frame, and it'll look to spec.
it'll look the same.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the things is this is a 4-speed manual, the original.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm guessing if you do one of these replicas, you can give it that 6-speed.
Yeah, you could go a
course.
Tremec
And-
T56.
Yeah.
I think that's what most would do. I'll give you my pick. It's a Ford GT. So the 05.
Oh, you asshole.
Is that, you got that one too?
Yeah.
Wait,
Well, so
what's
I was debating a little
Okay.
bit. Yeah. But okay, go ahead.
So the Ford GT was the homage to this car that they brought out. They'd made about 4,000 of them. 05, 06. I think it's, to this day, is the greatest American car ever built. I love this
When
car.
you say 4 GT, that's the new generation.
It's the 05, 06. So it's the modern road version of this.
Yeah, not the new one.
There's the Ford GT from 2017 that they refreshed, but I'm talking the 05, 06.
Yeah.
It's got truthfully, I think it's the car you would actually enjoy owning, Prabul.
Oh.
It's still trying to kill you in a way.
Yeah.
I read a stat on these that they suspect roughly 20% of these have been wrecked. So the 4,000, so it's roughly 800 of them have been wrecked.
Yeah. 500 of them were with the Hennessy versions.
Yeah, 500 they had wrecked.
How much are these?
So that is about. This is the higher end of mine.
Okay.
I'm
curious what the higher end.
I think you can get it roughly for 400
$500,000.
Canadian.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I think it's not bad in the context that it's going to be $1 million car one day in our lifetime, probably very soon. I'm very specific on the car I would want. I don't care. There's 3 option cars. There's
Would you do stripes?
That's the only thing I don't want stripes.
Yeah.
Man,
I would
stripes
like a
make the
straight
car.
delete car.
No,
Just call me crazy.
I don't want them either.
These are painted on, eh? They're not
Yeah,
stickers.
no, they're
Yeah,
painted
they are.
on. I would like a stripe delete Ford GT. If I saw one, I would do whatever it took to get one. So there's a black one there on the bottom left, Prabul. For me, that's the
You would go black.
not necessarily.
No, just stripeless.
Just without the stripe.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah,
I mean-
I love the 3/4 view on this car, and I also like the rear of this car.
I think the rear is my favorite. It has the nice hips that kind of were on the original Ford GT
Yeah,
or
that's
GT40.
Rear diffuser. I think the tail lights look
very
great.
nice.
okay. I can be swayed.
So this is one. I mean, it's still. You're going to enjoy this car a lot more than the original GT40. The GT40 is a race car.
So what did they call this one?
This
Ford
has air
GT.
conditioning. This is a Ford GT. The original is a GT40, and then they've had 2 generations of the Ford GT now.
Okay, for 400 grand as opposed to 3 million, I think I'd rock this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Save a few pennies. Yeah.
And Lucas, this was your pick too.
Yeah, so I was with all the Corvette talk, I was really tempted by the ZR1 considering its value and everything else, but I think this trumps the experience. And I have other cars on the list that aren't as engaging because I didn't want all the cars to be like the same.
Yeah.
I want to have a variety of choice of cars on the bucket list. But the Ford GT in this generation, probably my favorite North American US car.
Yeah.
So for 400 grand, that's USD or Canadian?
It depends on the spec. You probably like if you got a heritage one with low miles, you're probably 700,000 Canadian.
Yeah.
It depends on the livery, the spec, things like that.
Okay, that's cool.
It's very cool, yeah. And I think the design is so timeless because it's so similar to the original Ford GT40. It's not aging, right? It's almost like it's looking newer and newer as time progresses.
And I prefer this to even the new. I wasn't a fan of the 17 version of the Ford GT that they launched.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, too clinical.
It's like a 3.5 liter EcoBoost.
EcoBoost, yes.
Yeah.
But it was a hybrid too, I think, right?
No.
Oh, it was just okay.
No.
So this one still had a 7-liter V8.
No, 5.4 liter supercharged.
V8.
So they both.
I think it was the same engine as the Lightning.
So to be fair, they both had Raptor motors.
Oh yeah.
But the Raptor wasn't a thing back then.
But the new Raptor
that's true.
is a
It's a
3.5
V6.
EcoBoost.
No, the Raptor had the Ford GT.
It's the other way
The
around.
other way around.
Although I should say the new Ford GT, or at least the modern Ford GT, is a cool looking car.
It's very cool.
Like there's a lot of tech in it that's really neat.
Of cool aero in it.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah,
of
the
like air
suspension
channels.
Active aero.
Well, maybe active aero, but even the way that if you look at the car from a rear quarter point of view, there's that F1 like tunnel where like you can see through the whole car.
Yeah. That's
So
cool.
that's cool. So all three of us.
So that was American.
Not rehearsed.
Yeah.
We all landed on the Ford GT.
Yeah.
You know, one of the reasons why the Ford GT is one of the things I picked right away when we talked about American dream car in your garage. It's a car that I've seen and aspire to attain for, I don't know, ever since university times or whatever. High school, I had these posters on my wall,
Right.
and that's the car I wanted to have.
Yeah.
But then you start to realize the complications with owning it. It's great if you can achieve one, but maintaining it and keeping it alive.
I don't think they're
Pretty easy to
any
maintain.
more difficult like than buying a Ferrari. Like they're definitely not. Like you can go down to your Ford store and pick up parts. And
Yeah.
But didn't Jeremy Clarkson have a Ford GT and he ran into all
I think
kinds
there's a bit of
issues?
drama around that. There was a story behind his that I forget the details of, but I don't think it was as bad as it was made out to be.
If they're anything like the truck motor, they have manifold problems.
Oh.
That's about it.
Just
But
don't go rev it out high.
no, it's just that they cracked or leaked after a while in the trucks. But that's after like 120,000 kilometers.
And we haven't even talked about, like, if you ever seen a modded version of a Ford GT.
Just type in. There's one. It's on HREs. Just type in Ford GT HRE.
Is it the guy in the Netherlands or Belgium? I am Roush or something like that.
Maybe.
It's black.
There you go.
Okay.
So it's top row in yellow letters Ford GT.
Yeah, the
This
Gas
guy.
Monkey Garage one.
That one.
Yeah.
I think those wheels are very appropriate for
That's
for
a great motorsport look.
Yeah.
I love the rear diffuser. Black,
All
no
black.
stripe delete.
Yeah, just very aggressive.
That's the dream.
Yeah, that's a beautiful car.
That's
Too modern for me.
Too modern
just
of
the wheels
wheels?
don't suit the car. Even this one doesn't suit the
no.
car.
I like the motorsport look with
Yeah.
the 5-spoke.
that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay.
So American,
We have consensus.
yeah, Ford GT. What about you all? What's your
I was a bit shocked that given Eric's history with Ford, he didn't choose like a Cosworth Escort or something. Yeah,
I did think of that, but I thought, would that be a British pick? Because it was never made
It's true. Yeah.
in North America.
But you
It
had
was-
one here.
well, he didn't have a Cosworth. He
I,
had
I had an Escort GT, which is a big difference.
Yeah, okay, fine. I guess you can import them. It's a classic now, so you can bring that in
they're
without...
fetching some big dollars, but no, I didn't. I was kind of on the fence. Is that a British car? Is that a Ford? But ultimately, like the Ford GT is my holy grail of American sports cars.
Okay, let's move on then.
Okay.
Countries. Next up is Japan.
Japan.
I went first, so
Oh, don't make me. This is the hardest
Okay,
one.
Okay.
I'll go. So I had a
Go,
hard time
Lucas.
too. And there's one car that was kind of on my radar, but then I realized that it's not so great stock. It has to be modded, which is the R34 Skyline. So I didn't choose it because
I think that'd be the top of most people's list. in
But
terms
the
of
thing is, when you
Japanese
start
grades.
reading about the R34 in stock form, it's actually not that good. It doesn't.
Oh, you're about to get lit up. In this
It's not that
comment.
powerful. It's got a lot of lag.
So-
When you tune these cars and build the motors, TJ Hunt had some episodes on the one that he built with a shop out in, I think, New Jersey or something, where they just focus on these cars. It's epic. But in stock form, I went with something else. So just to be a little special, I went with a Nürburgring edition LFA.
LFA.
Yeah, I like it.
Wait, I thought this is the realistic car.
I know, but it just looks like so good.
These are $1 million.
Yeah,
We just
they're not
reprimanded.
They're not $5 million though.
We just ridiculed Prabul for his picks.
See,
The R34 is probably the more realistic choice.
Yeah.
But I think this is such an icon of a car. And if you think about it, when's the last time? Like, I mean, I've seen an LFA maybe 5 times. When have you ever seen a Nürburgring edition LFA?
Yeah.
There's a video that came up on my Instagram of a guy bringing it in for service at like a local dealership. He rolls in this orange Nürburgring dealership into like a Toyota Lexus dealership, and they're all just like, "What are you doing here?"
So it's interesting because that's also my pick for the Japanese world. So in the world of Japan, you had so many choices. You got Nissan, you got Mitsubishi, you've got
Do you find all those
Mazda.
all those manufacturers, they kind of capped out at like year 2000 though?
Well, yeah, I don't know what happened. They basically exited the
Sports car,
golden
supercar,
era of
yeah.
sports cars. Right.
Yeah.
So when I was trying to pick, I was looking at the RX-7, the R34 Skyline.
Yeah.
They were all manuals, and I was looking at it my selection as a whole. You know, I wanted to tap into certain aspects of what I would want as a driver, and manual was one big piece of it. And another car will give me that manual fix better. So I picked the LFA for its cool factor, the fact that they only made 500 units, the fact that this is a naturally aspirated V10 coming out of Japan. It's like, it sounds like a Formula One car, right?
Yeah. They're not well reviewed though.
No.
Who dumped? Like someone dunked on it. I think it was Doug DeMuro or there was someone that said this is not.
Yeah, I mean, it's
never meet your heroes kind of moment where they had it and like this is not a great car.
I guess none of us have driven it, so it's hard to really tell, right? And he's driven it, and he's comparing it to so many other cars that he's driven. But just from a cool factor, I would love to have this in the garage as well.
Yeah. The sound alone, I think the soundtrack is what sold a lot of people on this car. It's just considering it was a high-revving V10.
It's one of the best sounding cars of all time. It'd be on most people's top 10, top 20 list of best sounding cars. Yeah. Right? Carrera GT, this.
Yeah. This is one of those cars that when Lexus or Toyota was working on this, they have had to refresh or restart the development of the car.
It had a very long production cycle.
Yeah. They went back to the drawing board and redid the car after 4 years of development. Yeah. So it took them even longer to bring it in. And that's why it's so expensive the way it is. Yeah. Originally, it was supposed to be a good price point where enthusiasts can get a hand on them. But I think when they released it was like $400,000.
Yeah.
So it was double what they expected, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So my pick, this was the hardest country for me. And I don't mean to disparage Japanese cars, but I could live my whole life without having one in my garage, and I love NSXs and I love this car, but there's just other cars from other countries that I would prioritize. But if I had to pick, I'm gonna get, conjure up my Fast and Furious upbringing. Nostalgia is a seductive mistress.
Maxima, a Nissan Maxima.
Yeah, there you go.
I would go Toyota Supra.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's everyone does.
Yeah,
that.
Everyone does it. I would. Without the stickers and the orange paint, I would do a clean.
What's the point?
Modded version. Nothing crazy, but you're gonna put no, not that one.
No. I'm trying to find out.
Yeah. Put in 1995 or something like that.
Type in Paul Walker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Here's one. So if you did this, you have to mod it.
Yeah, I would for sure mod it. I would
go
tasteful.
Stock.
I don't know if I would go as extreme as that.
I can't handle that. Like those body kits. It's just.
It's too much. It's too much.
It's too much.
But like a Supra Turbo, probably get it 600 horse, nothing crazy, stanced wheels.
No,
you won't get the Fast and the Furious.
Definitely not. No, there's really much better examples of a Supra than that. That was a very that time. What year was that? 2005.
Yeah, up to 2005.
Yeah,
I think
you walked into any tuner shop in Ottawa, and there was like Vader body kits hanging from the wall. Yeah. It was that time, right?
It was an era of Japanese
excess.
excess. I mean, the Japanese JDM culture was huge.
Huge.
And it just died out.
It's because that's all people could afford, right?
Yeah.
Like you were getting the Honda Civics, the compact cars, when they were not $70,000 for a Civic, and you put
good.
wheels and exhaust on it to make yourself feel like a race car driver.
I think what happened was the Germans invaded a little bit.
Really?
Well, I think as those people that they moved up market in their own lives and had more money, then they could start with the
Porsche,
the BMW platform, and now you get to 911s and M3s, and so.
Although on that topic, not to digress. Yeah. I think the Japanese car manufacturers are kind of reviving that sport car culture now. A little sad that Nissan, Toyota, Mitsubishi kind of merger didn't happen. That got canned.
Yeah, I heard about that.
But that was never going to accomplish what you thought it would in terms of now they're going to make Evos again. No, they're going to make compact cars that they can sell 1 million of.
Yes, it probably would have gotten even worse, to be honest.
Yeah.
And the Supra, great choice. There's the two cars that were, I guess, more realistic cars from my side. I'll take back the LFA because I know it's just too much. The R34 was great, but I think the two of the greatest JDM cars were, one of my personal favorites was the Type R Integra. Championship white with red. I think it was such a cool car, especially back then. But
you didn't pick it.
I didn't pick it because I was debating.
Yeah, I thought someone was going to pick this car.
Yeah, it was such a cool car.
Yep, it really was.
Hey, there's a modern version of it now. It
No.
doesn't look anything like
Not
this.
a comparison at
No.
all. No, this is unique in its own way. But this was a really cool car. And obviously the Type R NSX, which was very sought after, limited. It was an AP2 only, I believe. But great looking car.
Frank's car. That's AP1.
AP1, yeah.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
That's a Type R, yeah. You know what? People are always on the fence about the pop-up headlights versus those. Like visually, I much prefer the AP2.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think it's a better looking car. I know that
it looks 10 years newer.
It's not even about being newer because the pop-up headlights had their own appeal. It fit that kind of 355 Ferrari time appropriate.
Wasn't that code developed with who was it? The NSX was one of those cars where
it was
Schumacher.
McLaren. I think it was. I thought it was.
No, there's Ferrari influence to it.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard Koenigsegg and Pagani were
The one I did think of this car, but what kind of kept me away from picking this is it's 320 horse.
Yeah, but it's light.
No, I know, but and then you got the RX-7.
No. I wanted to show what I was going for next, but go
you
ahead.
would pick the RX-7.
Well, if I was to roll back my LFA pick, then the RX-7, the Mach 2, RX-7.
I love that car too.
Yeah.
It's a rotary engine with I can't remember if it was 2 turbos or single turbo.
I think a single, but design-wise, I think that's the best looking RX-7 they made.
Yes,
I agree 100%.
Or RX car in general. I think it was actually beautiful, proportionate, just great styling, very unique, great looking car. Not horrible example. Just take that off the screen, burn it with fire. There's so many. I don't get it. Why do people do that?
There you go.
Still not that great.
Okay, the green one was good.
No, just click X.
He just said Mach.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
some of these are overkill.
Yeah, they're overkill.
Yeah.
Okay. So LFA and then Supra for me.
Yeah. So what? American cars so far: Ford GT, GT40, Ford GT for you guys. The Japanese pick, it's the LFA.
Yeah.
For the both of us.
More realistic, I'll probably go with the Acura Integra Type R or NSX.
And you were, what was it again?
Supra.
Yeah. Yeah. Typical. Okay, let's move on then. Next up is Italy.
Mm-hmm.
This is
favorite.
I mean,
I don't care what you
say.
There's
2 brands.
There was no budget in mind. Well, there's a budget, but I just didn't care. I had to have this car.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess I'll go first on this one. I debated between 2 cars before ultimately landing on the F12.
Okay.
And why I think this is the other car was the 458. Because I think when you're
you
talking
went with a front engine Ferrari over a mid engine.
well, this is you'll see in a second my rationale.
Yeah.
I'll go to the black version.
one of the most beautiful cars ever made, though, by Ferrari.
I do think so. This is the last of the Pininfarina designed Ferraris, and like when you look at the lineage of the cars they've designed, like the 250 GTO, the F40,
Yeah.
like I think that alone makes it a very special Ferrari. You know, front engine V12. I think that's pretty cool in Ferrari. I think is that the TDF? No, that's
TDF.
Yeah, it is TDF.
So this car was much better looking than the Superfast, in my opinion.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think that it peaked. Their Grand Tour peaked at the F12.
Like that cutout at the door going towards the fender. Just
That is cool.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, 740 horsepower. I think they're going to do really well in value. It was not an easy decision between this and a 458, and they're trading under 300,000. Like you could get a reasonable high mileage version, like I'm saying 40,000 kilometers for 250. Yes,
F12.
Can you click on the picture?
I think they made them from 2012
Look at the proportions on that car.
to
That's a model, by the way.
15. Yeah,
It's a great looking car.
yeah.
No way. This is 250K.
We'll look up some examples on Auto Trader. I'll show you.
Wow.
So Eric, like,
yeah.
have you considered, because the 458 last NA mid-engine supercar?
Trust me, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because I think that will also make that car special. It just had a longer production run. I don't think you could go wrong with either one. But then I thought about, okay, so I've got the Ford GT, which is kind of the sport, like
The mid-engine
sports car. This is, big engine front engine rear wheel drive.
All right, good choice.
Yeah. No wrong answers here. These
Yeah.
are just sort of subjective.
It's
opinions.
interesting, eh? Okay. So you had the Ferrari F12.
Yep. I love the design. I think that's timeless. I think being the last of the Pininfarina designed Ferraris is going to make it worth.
And it's a V12 as well.
Yeah.
It's V12. Yep.
Naturally aspirated.
Yep.
High revving screamer.
Yep. Okay.
Do you want to?
I chose a unicorn.
I keep.
I think that's ridiculous.
Only 6 made.
You serious?
Yeah. Lamborghini,
Miura?
2005 Lamborghini SV manual.
Murcielago.
Out of the whole run, they only made 6 in manual, but it had to be the SV.
But this would be $1 million.
Yeah, it
plus.
is. Yeah.
Okay,
Like this guy.
No, older. Murcielago.
it's Murcielago.
I strictly want the manual gearbox in this car.
Oh, okay. So that's the hype these days now.
Kind of, but I think it's the ultimate.
I bet you that's $1 million and
It is. It's a
$half
it's
dollar car.
easy, but it's a car that you just it's so unique and you could choose like something more realistic or like a Ferrari 458 or something. But
so
in terms
that's
of
not a manual.
that one probably not. Most of them are not manual. There was only 6 made by the factory in manual. SVs.
Wouldn't it be better just to get a regular Murcielago?
I think someone should pack. I think there are more manual. If you're talking
Not SVs.
SVs, okay.
SVs.
Just
SVs.
SVs.
Murcielagos, yes, there was a fair bit of manuals. If you look on the used market, there's none for sale.
Yeah.
They're all just the regular gearbox ones.
I guess I completed this assignment from the planet Earth.
Yeah.
You guys are picking it's probably a $2 million car.
Yeah, but this is just the exception. I had to it's such a
It's
cool
a cool
car.
garage, right?
Yeah.
I know, but I thought we were realistically that we would own one day.
I mean, you win the lottery, that's realistic,
Oh.
or you sell your tech company, that's realistic.
Yeah.
you have to start a tech company first before you can sell one.
Okay, wait, hold on though. So this is a good pick.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of it because I was going to ask the question.
It's just the rarity of this car is
Yeah.
insane. And everyone's always jumping at these like new Revelto with and like this is so much cooler,
I love the Murcielago. I love the rear of it.
Yeah.
It's-
But a V12 mid-engine, very timeless Lamborghini lines, not exaggerated, but still like the back of this car is gorgeous. If you go to the back, it has that exclusive kind of blacked out rear end with the wing.
Yeah.
Like it just looks wicked.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And it has the old school SV font on the side. So that was the SV before all the SVJs came out. That was the original SV font.
Super Veloce.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with just like a normal Murcielago.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you want to get you can get those for 300, and like
You just
not
got to
a
find a
manual.
good example.
not a manual.
No.
Yeah.
So here's the thing though. So DDE and Mr. JWW,
Yeah.
they've collaborated a few times or whatever.
He sold a GT3 RS 4.0
Yes.
for a Mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's an automatic Mercy that he's going to convert to a manual.
No. Did you not watch the latest video?
What?
He got so much DMs because he picked up a 26 kilometer Murcielago. It was brand new.
Manual?
No, it was an auto. The one he
Oh, yeah,
picked
that's
up,
what I'm
that was a brand new car. It was never driven. It had 126.
Oh, sure.
Had 126 kilometers on it.
The lowest kilometer car.
Yes, basically
Murcielago.
brand. The guy drove it home and parked it.
Okay.
So he bought this car, and his plan was to do exactly what you said. It was to
Manual
take it
swap.
apart, manual swap it. When people saw that car, he got people DM like, "I'll
Like
buy it
death
from you."
threats or-
Like, do not mod that car.
okay.
I'll buy it from you for double what you paid for it.
Wow.
So now he had a video saying, "I don't know what to do."
Oh.
Because really, like, I just want to drive this car and enjoy it, but I just almost now he feels bad butchering. Well, not butchering, but
Yeah.
converting an all original collector car.
Yeah. And then he does that. The value of that car is going to tank.
Well, he could probably sell it for the premium, go buy a higher mileage one, and do it and pay for the whole thing.
Yeah, but I think his concern was he wanted a really clean, good example version to as a base.
Keep it for a long time.
And I think in the video he mentioned this is like value aside, this is a forever car for him. He doesn't care about the value. He just wants to enjoy the driving aspect of the car.
That's one of the reasons why he sold the 997.2 GT3 RS 4.0.
Yeah.
Because he says it's never been driven.
Yeah.
And it's just sitting there collecting dust, and it's a collector item, and he feels guilty putting any miles on that car because it was a low mileage car anyways.
Yeah.
So now he got a low
But
mileage
he also
Mercy.
mentioned the manual didn't quite like satisfy him. Like when he drove the Mercy, he fell in love.
Well, it's a gated 6-speed manual, right?
Yeah.
All right.
It's a cool car. So hey man, I hope it becomes
Do
a reality.
you know who drove this car? Batman. The best Batman, by the way, Christian Bale. He drove this car.
But it was
it's
not
an Aventador. He drove the Aventador.
No, he didn't. He had a Mercy.
Oh,
Yeah, he had a Nardo Mercy.
Well, the internet is forever, Lucas.
Look it up.
You will be revealed as a fraud.
Look it up. Type in Christian Bale Lamborghini Batman, and you'll see the car that
Is this
pops up.
at this point? Do you want to apologize to me about the
Yeah.
991.2 Ts having PCCBs and buckets?
They weren't available on the build sheet.
Not on 992. We were talking 991.2. So.
Yeah, that's true.
oh, it is a Mercy.
Mercy.
Have
Yeah.
mercy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Why did I? Oh, that's why. Because he in the next iteration he had a Aventador.
Yeah, but the OG was the Mercy.
The first,
Yeah.
what was it called? The first Batman movie with him
Yeah.
had the Mercy. Okay, I did not know.
Yeah.
All right.
What's your pick? Oh, it's like your
Pagani Zondar.
yeah. Enzo.
Novatec F50.
One of one.
LaFerrari. Obviously.
Oh, get out of here.
Okay.
LaFerrari. Okay.
I am so sorry. I missed the assignment once again.
Okay, but let's redeem yourself. What's in a more affordable version of it? I mean, I chose Lamborghini.
458.
458.
So a
yeah.
458 would have been definitely high up on the list for me.
Yeah.
But
Do you think the 458 is lacking in the only department is the gearbox? Like, do you think like a 360 manual or a 430 manual will be better?
that's what I was looking at. So from a price point realistic perspective, I think a manual for F430 will be the way I go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I've seen people take a 430 Scuderia and transplant a manual gearbox into it. I think that's the epitome of value right there. Because the Scuderia gives you all those cool features, the carbon, like monocoque, the center console, the exposed floors. It's so raw. The diffuser, the exhaust, and the bumper.
Yeah.
Paired that with a manual gearbox, that's an awesome car.
Yeah, it is a cool car. But those are like a Scuderia is probably up at 500,000 right now.
Yeah, I'd say so.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for the Scuderia.
Scuderia.
Yeah,
yeah.
Scuderia. I'm saying a 430.
You could just buy a 430 and
for
build your own
150
Scuderia.
and put a manual in it.
Yeah.
I mean, to think about it, you get a Scuderia, it'll be one of those scenarios where you don't want to mod it.
Yeah.
Because you mod it, it's going to kill the value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're better off buying an F430 and then modifying it to your liking. Drop it, coilovers, wheels, aero kit, whatever. Make it your own.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's 200 now? 200,000
Yeah, you can get for an F430.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
and then do the conversion yourself instead of looking for a manual.
Yeah, that's a Scuderia.
Yeah.
Oh, too many Scuderias.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, a manual Ferrari is what I was thinking when I first looked at it. Even a Lamborghini would have been cool, but not many manual
The
Lamborghini.
Mercy. It's the Mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go
It's
Gallardo.
the last of
Gallardo.
the Gallardo, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think from a looks perspective, I think a Ferrari is the way to go. A red Ferrari. I wouldn't take
Talking
any
Italy,
other color. So yeah, that was. If I could just come back to the LaFerrari, one of the reasons, money no object, I think it's such a beautiful looking car. It's probably the best design from Ferrari.
You think so? More than the F430, the F40?
Oh, I prefer the lines of the LaFerrari more.
How about the F50?
F50, you know what? I remember when that car came out,
People did not.
they didn't
it.
receive well to that design.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now that you see it, I think it's one of the best designs they have.
So I don't know why. I just like. Fine. I mean, the F50 is beautiful, classic design. I think the LaFerrari is one of those like futuristic looking cars that has come to life.
It's nice.
It is so beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
It's what the F80. This is a much nicer looking car than the F80.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know what they were doing
Yeah.
with the F80.
So
They
actually,
tried too hard.
Eric mentioned it like a few days ago in the chat, but he saw a Ferrari commercial for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
When's the last time you saw a Ferrari commercial?
Right.
Almost never.
Never.
And it was for the 296, and what did it say? Get approved or apply? Like they're
Yeah.
trying to make it sound exclusive. No, you need to fire sale these things.
Yeah.
We all know it. You've never advertised to us before.
So this is interesting because there was another post that I was seeing about how you have to be an investor within Ferrari in order to even get a Ferrari.
does that
It's not about.
What do you
So
mean?
they want you to put in like 40 to 100 grand or whatever, like a certain amount of money to be a shareholder in the Ferrari game, and you just buying cars isn't enough anymore.
What you have to have equity in
Yeah.
Ferrari.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's not going to go very far with the models they just released.
Yeah, I would not. Yes, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like the opposite. So they're doing commercials, but on the other side, they're also debating doing this sort of extreme.
Yeah.
I wouldn't invest in Ferrari. Like I'll maybe after this, I'm going to take away and crunch some numbers on like the financials, but I don't think the future is bright when you look at their product lineup, like what's going on with the SF90.
Yeah. So
The
far,
296, they have to advertise. They've never advertised in my life that I can recall.
See, I wonder if it's this is the opposite of every other manufacturer. For Ferrari, it's the whole Formula One that's driving everything else. It's Italy's pride and joy, right?
Yeah.
The government is funding it. Ferrari will never go away.
yes, I
No
mean,
matter
it will.
how bad
I'm
of-
hoping it takes a turn for the better, but to be honest, like Eric mentioned, there's not a single car in the lineup that's attractive anymore.
Yeah, I would not pick a new Ferrari.
No.
All the hybrid stuff?
Cylindry or whatever.
If I'm
is awful
spending
looking.
$800,000 on a car, I'm not buying a Ferrari,
No.
a new Ferrari. Older
Yeah.
Ferrari, sure.
Yeah.
But there's nothing new that I think is worthy.
Yeah.
I completely agree. All right, let's move on.
Okay, so that was Italy.
So that was
Where are we
Italy.
going to next?
We're the UK now.
Okay.
The last one, last country.
So I had my dream one and then the realistic one. Okay.
Ah, okay.
So dream P1.
Yeah.
Epic. Okay. That's just it's such a cool car.
Yeah.
The way it looks, the shape of it, the door, the sculpted venting, the hydraulic suspension, the race mode,
Hybrid.
realistic. I love the new Aston Vantage.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think
that was mine too.
that's a fantastic car,
Yeah.
and I think the way that, contrary to Ferrari, Aston's going in the right direction.
I agree.
Their designs are killing it.
Amazing.
One of the best looking cars on the market right
Yes.
now.
For that price point.
Best power plants.
Yeah.
Great
V8.
interiors, and the fact that they're saying we're going to bring back the manual game and build more enthusiast cars, I think is a really strong statement.
Yeah, and it's a compelling car. Like without any of the special versions of the Vantage, the new one, I think it's 656 horsepower.
Oh, yeah.
Monster. It's
But
a
just-
Mercedes power plant, so you know you're gonna
Reliable.
reliability. None of the old problems of being a Vantage owner.
I just love the looks of this car. I think it's a wide, aggressive, sleek, sexy car. It's beautiful.
We've debated what
at
we
that.
want to get next.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Why couldn't this be it?
You know what? The only thing about this car that I find it problematic is the price.
Yeah.
What like the base is
Close to
260?
300 now.
It's expensive. Yeah. If this car was closer to 200, I think
Right.
it'd be the best car in the market, sports car in the market.
So the previous generation was this, and that was in the 200 range.
Yes.
But since they moved to this,
that says 2025 as well.
Yeah,
it's a
know why.
transition point.
Yeah.
So this is like a refresh to the Vantage, right?
Well,
this is the new.
it's not a refresh. It's a whole different car.
Whole different car.
Yeah, similar styling, similar rear end, but the whole front end, the interior, everything, it's like dimensions are different.
Yeah.
I think they kept so much of the language in the car that it looks similar from the back, but it's a different car.
Is this the car you wait, much like we had the MC20 conversation that, someone's going to buy it for 300, you wait a year and get it used for 220.
Probably. Although I think the fact that Aston Martin is pushing it all in the right direction, building enthusiast cars, I think it's going to hold value a lot better. I think a lot of the reason why these cars started tanking is because it went away from that enthusiast cars. They wanted to make efficient cars and it started getting boring. They're
Aston
talking about
Martin?
Yeah.
No, when did they ever make an efficient car?
No, this guy here.
That wasn't efficient. That was
I
still a
don't know
good
what
V8.
that is.
Yeah.
What is that?
That's a Vantage.
Vantage.
So-
No, I know, but like it says 2025.
No, that's
yeah,
the
that's just
wrong-
it's just someone who doesn't know what they're doing on the internet. There you go.
Yeah.
That's the old.
23.
I mean, the older one's
Yeah,
nice
23.
too, but that wasn't a economic car.
Yeah.
Like that was still a
A V8.
V8 high horsepower.
Okay.
The biggest flaw with this one, still great styling, is the interior. I
Yeah,
just,
the
I just,
interior was.
No way.
Yeah.
yeah.
The seats on this car are
No,
amazing.
the
No,
interior,
no.
the
The
dash.
generation before was no good.
Oh, I thought you meant the new one.
No,
I'm
new
saying
one's
the new one is
perfect.
amazing.
the new one's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, the new one is actually it's fantastic. But like, see that dash.
So this is the old one,
that's the old one.
Yeah.
and this is the old one still,
Yeah,
and here's the new guy. Let's go here.
yeah.
Yeah.
So much cleaner.
So much cleaner. Just a nicer place to be.
Yeah.
It kind of has like Porsche vibes.
I just think it's just simplified.
Yeah.
I think they realize that they got to tone it down and just go back to basics.
Yeah.
'Cause
And this is going to age well.
Like, look at that. That's fantastic.
This is in Turbo S territory or Turbo territory, right?
Turbo S
Yeah, for pricing.
Okay.
and power.
Let's say
actually more.
Yeah.
depreciation, which we don't know how it's going to affect this car
Yeah.
yet, but depreciation aside, Turbo S or Vantage? What would you choose?
Vantage.
Vantage.
Vantage. Yeah.
You know, I think the only thing that's locking people into the Turbo S is just
The depreciation.
the badge and the depreciation of the Aston, which we really don't know how it's going to affect this car yet.
Was this your pick too?
No,
Oh, okay.
I have a different pick.
You have a Valkyrie or something. A 177. Yeah, something very economical and cheap.
Okay, can I go next, or you want to go?
I'm the same. I had this as my pick.
Oh, you
And
had
it
that?
just
Okay.
yeah. In terms of like my lineup too, it's a car as I got older, I think you could really enjoy, right? Even if you're
It's like a
65 year
gentleman's
old
car.
right?
Yeah.
You're still.
I like it.
Actually,
it's
we have-
comfortable.
yeah.
It's fast. It
And
does
it looks
all.
the part. You can drive slow somewhere and it just looks sexy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So
Okay. All right.
this is great, and if Aston Martin follows through on their promise of wanting to make manuals, this will be the ultimate buy.
Can you
in my
imagine they
opinion.
made this car in like a smaller detuned engine with a manual for like 100,000 less?
I don't think they'll do that because they're going to stick in the same price point they're at now, but they're going to offer a manual in this.
Well, that's the thing. I think the manual doesn't work in that power plant. It's just too much power. I think they'd have to have a smaller, more.
I don't know if I buy that fully yet.
No?
Because there are. I mean, how are manufacturers offering a manual in these high horsepower?
But they're
platforms?
not. They're not. Many of them are not. Like,
Pagani.
Oh, that's not an example.
that's not really a.
Those are like bespoke,
yeah.
small volume.
I mean, if they can
cars.
do it, I mean, there has
Actually,
to be
most Paganis now are just automatic.
really. Eh?
Yeah, the old Zondas were manual, but all the Wyras and stuff, they're all
Yeah, he's
automatic.
Yeah.
There's no manual
It's Mercedes
Zondas.
engine,
Yeah.
Mercedes transmission.
What about that
Ko-
Swedish
Koenigsegg? The only automaker that provides a dual gearbox.
Auto
but
and
that's,
manual.
But that's also a specialty
Bespoke,
case.
yeah.
All the other cars are automatic, or even with Regera, it's like a CVT.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
So what was your pick?
Okay. Sorry, building up the suspense here. Okay, so a dream option was the McLaren P1.
Okay.
And as a realistic option, it's the Exige 430 Cup.
Oh, very cool
so the
car.
Lotus
You know what's
Exige.
funny? I was looking at that car.
Let's show it. I think I have an idea. It's like the all raced out kitted one, right?
Not very raced out, but it's like an RS, but
Yeah, that's raced out.
Well, that's not raced out. That's so elegant.
So this car, I was after this car a couple years ago, and I found one because it's not available in the Canada. But there's a dealership in Vancouver that had imported two or three of them, and they had one for sale, and it was so attractive. I'm like, this car would be a blast to drive.
So tell me about this car. Like horsepower. What's the motor?
Like I think 300 or 430.
Sorry. So it's 430 horsepower. Okay. It's a supercharged V6. Their typical thing. It's a 3.5
Who makes the
liter.
motor?
Toyota. It's a Toyota motor in there. 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. It's the lightest of all the cars we picked.
Interior is so function purpose
I'm looking
built.
at that picture.
I love the interior.
Look how exposed the tunnel is. And
you can see the gearbox, like the linkages in between the.
Just like the Mira.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's just
That's cool.
such a cool car.
And you know what's really cool about this? It's about 150,000 Canadian.
Yeah.
If you can get one.
Yeah. Which you can't.
No. But if you import it, it's going to cost a bit more.
You have to import
I'm
it.
sure these were very limited. Like, would they make 1,000 of these worldwide?
No more. They were quite popular in the UK. It was like, but it's basically an affordable, more raw GT3 RS.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was cool.
It was only 1,000 kilograms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Super light.
Isn't that wild?
That'd be a very fun car.
Yeah.
So from a power to weight ratio, this thing kills everything on the track.
Yeah.
Even on the street, I think I would really enjoy driving this.
Yeah.
But maybe we should look at getting one imported.
Yeah. I mean, the one in Vancouver was about 150 when I saw it for sale. This is like
nice.
years ago.
That's a nice rear view.
Yeah.
Is that a single exhaust pipe?
Might be. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think all of them are like that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Yeah, it's officially like that.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
There's a guy in the UK who had one. He actually, I think he painted it like a beautiful purple metallic.
Yes, I've
and
seen
he put
that.
on silver HREs. It looked so good.
He sold it.
He sold it for or it's for sale, I think, or something. But
I think he got a GT3 RS.
what a great color though.
Yeah.
And it's such a unique car.
I mean, I take it in a red like that.
Yeah.
That looks beautiful.
Yeah, for sure.
Like here's one more.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that was our UK pick. We still have one more.
You left the
Germans.
for last.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we totally forgot about that one.
Okay.
Okay, Germany, we have so many options. We've got Audi, BMW, Volkswagen, Porsche.
Yeah.
Really hard to pick. I mean, it kind of was easy in my head.
For me, it was actually easy.
It was easy.
It was easy because you'll probably be surprised by my choice, but it's a car that you don't see on the road at all. It's extremely rare, and I think it'll go down as one of the better cars from that came out of Germany.
A 318 Ti.
No,
All right. Congrats.
no,
Volkswagen Scirocco.
no. Mercedes
Corrado.
AMG GTR Black.
AMG GTR Black.
Yeah,
You know, it didn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. okay.
I mean, yeah.
We've talked about this car.
I've never seen a black in person.
Oh, not the Black
Yeah.
series. But we talked about the
no,
GTR.
not the black. That's a GTR.
Oh, here.
There's a black. I think this car.
How much is this car?
About
It's 700 now.
maybe 700. Yeah.
Brand new, it was about 400.
400 new. It's already appreciated so much, and I think and seeing the new AMG come out, I think this makes this way even more special.
You know, I'm kind of looking forward to the new GTR Black Series.
Yeah,
Because the new design it's a bit more elegant, more flowing and connected. It's not as
The new one would not have back seats though.
no. The Black Series won't. It'd be
They'll
a track.
delete-
well,
focus
they
car.
don't even have a GTR yet. The
No.
Black Series comes after the GTR. This is the hurrah for that generation. But
Yeah.
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it's a very cool car. Like the hood, the ducting, the aero. Like I think it's such a
So
cool
you've
car.
driven the GTR.
The GTR, I've
And
driven
you were
on
really
track,
impressed by it.
and
Yeah.
I honestly, I like the way everything about the car almost more than the GT3 RS.
Yeah.
So hold on. So this car or GT2 RS?
This car. I drove a GT2 RS too, by the way, on track, and I didn't like it.
Really, eh?
Yeah, it just it's less soul, too much power. Yeah.
Okay.
Not for me. I actually enjoy the GT3 RS more than the GT2 RS.
I agree. It's a lot more linear power delivery.
And not the black, but the GTR was like so similar to GT3 RS, but better soundtrack to me. It just had a more...
Well, the V8.
It just felt more like muscular and almost like it wasn't wild, but you could make it more exciting to drive.
Well, yeah, it's a good pick. This is what, like 700 horsepower?
720.
Yeah, in the black.
720. Cool.
Wow.
Over to you.
You want to go? Okay. So for me, this was not hard. This came to me very quickly. It's a 997.2 GT3 RS.
4.0?
No, yeah, of course, but I completed the assignment on planet Earth, unlike you guys.
Wait, GT3 RS?
Yeah, GT3 RS. So, and particularly the spec would be gray, black with red.
That's a good one.
Oh, okay, classic. So,
Yeah.
okay, here's an important question for you. If you were to do the gray black with red, would you get CCBs?
Yes.
But they're yellow.
Oh, whatever. You can paint the calibers, but I definitely get PC. So there's an example there of the bottom left that has So that is the car.
I can't do the.
Oh,
color
you want to
scheme.
do a gray, black, and black?
Like I have to do calipers in red or gray black or black.
you can address if it bothers you. I know you don't like.
I think that's better.
The Weissach gold.
Yeah.
I like that more.
They're all. I think you can get cobalt blue. There's a bunch of great specs on this. For me, I think this is peak 911, and it's like the 4.0, of course, is the goat. But for
the 3.8 is still good.
This is pretty good.
You know, the 3.8s are not cheap anymore. They're still in the 250.
This would be
300.
This would be 300.
Yeah.
More than that, even I think.
Now.
Yeah.
They've really gone up.
Oh, that's true. The 4.0 now is like 600 to 700.
750, I bet.
So this is like
this
400.
last generation of the 3.8 in the like the facelift .2 variation is like the values are going up like crazy.
Yeah. It's a manual car. You're gonna get buckets and PCCBs. To me, this is peak 911.
Sometimes this makes me kick myself in the bum because
I know every time we bring it up.
Yeah,
but you didn't have this car. You had a
No.
GTS.
But you could have got this instead of your
GT3
991.2 GT3 RS.
when I was looking
They're
at-
probably dollar for dollar similar.
No way.
Yeah.
So when I was hunting and almost made before I purchased that, there was a 997.2 GT3 RS, the 3.8 liter.
What color was it?
It was white.
Okay.
I'm okay with white.
Yeah.
White with gold accents.
Okay.
And it was around 200,
Wow.
220 or something
Can
like
you
that.
imagine the anxiety you'd have today
Yeah.
driving that car?
I know.
You would, if you think you have like mileage anxiety with this one, can you imagine driving
Yeah.
that one?
Yeah.
You couldn't do it.
No,
I think it'd be actually, to be honest, I think it's safer that you didn't buy it.
probably. It's
But
true.
I love this car. For me,
You would do it in red.
I like that spec, the gray black with the red. But I honestly, these come around so rarely that you probably couldn't be too picky. There's a guy on Instagram I'm friends with who's got it's gray black with yellow,
Yeah.
and he turns over his cars like crazy. So
You're waiting for it.
maybe I don't know first right of refusal on it, but it'll be a very expensive car, I'm sure at that point.
But this would be like, I think if you buy this car, since it's so much money and like, at our age, you're not thinking of flipping in the future. I think this is a forever car. You just enjoy. Forget about the mileage.
Yeah.
Forget about everything else associated with the value and just
We
dream
don't
car.
daily drive these things anyways.
we don't,
I put
yeah.
4,000 kilometers a year on my car.
So going back to the Mr. JWW.
that's a great spec.
Yeah,
That's what I would do. Wise gold and gray black.
Yeah.
Oof.
yeah.
Or white and wise gold is also okay.
So, yeah, it's my pick.
Yeah. Awesome pick.
Thank you.
I wish I did this as well, but so go into my pick. So I was looking at it holistically with all of the.
Courage GT, Gabal edition.
You'll be surprised. So I wanted something that was easy to drive, get in and get out, have a manual, rear-wheel drive, naturally aspirated. And that's what I wanted to in the mix
Aspirated. Okay.
of all the other hypercars.
Okay.
You said
classic
easy to
cars.
drive, so it's not a Carrera GT.
And manual.
Yeah,
It's GT3 Touring.
there you go.
Yeah.
So my pick in the German world, I think the GT3 RS Touring, the manual transmission, the naturally aspirated motor.
Which generation?
rear-wheel
Sorry, you
drive.
said GT3 RS Touring.
Oh, sorry, GT3 Touring.
Which generation would you choose?
So that's one of those cars I would buy brand new.
So which generation would you
like
choose?
dot
992.
992.2.
Oh, okay.
In the dream car garage. The thinking is, I'm buying a car the way I want it, the spec I want, the colors I want, and I'm just going to drive it. Forget the mileage, forget the kilometers. I'm just going to not feel guilty about it.
Is this a hint, Prabhu? Are you doing something?
No. It doesn't make sense for 410. Like,
Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah.
true. It's ridiculous.
it's just, if money was no object, again, having 5-car garage, you made it to some level, right? Where
Yeah.
400 grand is maybe not that big of a deal for you. You're dropping 1 million on an LFA, for
Yeah,
example,
yeah.
right? So I was thinking to myself, you want a car.
I think that you're right. I think that's a great car just to
Yep.
enjoy, have, commute, go for coffee, go for an evening drive, go through just
back seats now.
seats.
I don't have to like monkey it up anymore.
And that's what Porsche's.
What spec would you pick? Bring it up.
All right, let's load the configurator.
I had
Like, would you try to get a PTS and
so yes, PTS, manual, PCCBs.
Okay.
Probably do some aftermarket wheels, but the light bow package that comes with the Touring now,
Yeah,
the magnesium wheels are so cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want anything else.
It's
I
true.
would just get them in the
it's
gold.
almost like a perfect package from the factory. You just drive it.
The big downside is, I think if that was to be your only car, there's nothing for you to mod.
I agree totally.
Like, you wouldn't want to touch the perfection.
Yep.
You're
Yeah.
messing with it.
Yeah.
It's perfect as it is from the factory, right? So if you're into modding, it'll be the wrong car to get.
Yeah.
So
okay, good pick.
I didn't show a picture of it. Let me see here.
You know what? You said you'd go PTS. I kind of like the green they're offering from factory. I think it's
Not the Aventurine.
no. So that green
Like
right
this
there.
That's the one
Yeah,
I picked up.
I think that's a great color for the
Yeah.
car. I like it a lot.
I
It has a
agree.
bit of metallic to it.
For a factory option,
It is metallic green.
It's metallic, which is I would choose a metallic paint in this car. I just think it suits the body lines, or no, lack of body lines. But it's a great color.
I agree.
Oh, look, there's Prabhu.
That's Orlando Bloom now, who's now
He's the spokesperson for Porsche.
For Porsche, like the most recent development there. And
No, you have to go to touring. Yeah. See, it's their like launch color, I guess, eh?
Yeah,
Oh, it's right there, metallic.
It's, oak green metallic.
Oak green, and oak green is a classic color.
Yeah, that's a classic Porsche.
like
color.
you can't go wrong with that. It's a free color.
The only downside is
Oh, never mind. It's $3,500.
yeah,
Okay.
but everyone's going to have this color.
Who cares? It looks great.
It's true. So here's the pick with those wheels. With some white stitching.
Yeah.
You add 50K to it.
Add some CCBs on there.
Is this Canadian?
Yeah, this is Canadian.
Okay. So 300. We're at 334,000.
You put rear seats in.
Yeah, those seats are nice too.
Forget all that.
What's the lightweight package for 41,000?
That's the thing. It has all the carbon fiber parts.
How much
to
is it?
41,000 for a
40,000.
lightweight package.
41,000.
Is that what gets you the seats or?
Yeah. Well, you can get the seats separately, but the light bow package includes a whole bunch of other things. So in exterior black, let's see here.
$41,000 worth. It better be like a freaking free Macan or something.
Tailpipe trims and Porsche logo into them.
No, there's more to it than this.
The wheels.
The magnesium wheels is the big one.
Okay.
It's like almost 20
What's
grand.
the roof? Magnesium roof?
No, carbon fiber roof.
It looks painted to
Like
me.
exposed.
You can get
or-
it painted as well
Okay.
now.
What's the side? Black trim?
That's the option.
Yeah. I would not choose that, to be honest. I just get
That
ABS
is-
FIRs and seats.
The lightweight package is the
So
bigger,
it's,
more than the cost of the average car.
Yeah,
So-
that seems like a...
Wow. Oh, here it is.
there's all the interior
So,
stuff.
Carbon fiber roof.
Short
Carbon
GT
inside.
specific gear lever.
Yes.
So it's got the ST like...
Yeah.
Okay.
This becomes more closer to the ST,
So this is basically getting ST owners pissed off.
pretty much.
Okay.
Is this like light and flywheel and everything
Yes.
like that as
Yeah.
well?
No, it doesn't have the flywheel.
No, just a more direct gearbox.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the seats look great.
Well, and the handles are all carbon fiber now
Yeah.
compared to the non-Wiseac package. So there's
That's a big option price though for this. Like I was thinking more like 15, 18, 41 is like, that's crazy.
so in a realistic world, if you were to spec this and you're trying to be frugal about it, you either pick this or PTS. I think both.
No, I would choose this or PTS. If I had to choose one of the options,
Like 40,000 for a PTS color or
No,
a lightweight?
No, if I was to choose a PTS lightweight package or a lightweight package, I would choose lightweight.
Yeah.
In like green or white. Because honestly, I think this car looks great in white. I don't think you need a PTS.
So when you finish up on the configurator, you're at 351?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, out the door with the luxury tax and everything, it's about 410.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then we're back to
ZR1.
buying F12s.
We're back to ZR1 for
ZR1s.
270 all in for 30Z loaded.
Okay.
And you know what? I sometimes I sit down, Purple, and with all the ZR1 talk, and I think about, the ZR1, so much value, but I keep coming back to the simplicity and the elegance of just like a 911. Mm-hmm. And then just that's more my driving style. But then after I come back to the price again, I'm like, this is ridiculous. How can this car be $400,000 and the ZR1's $250,000? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they released the Canadian pricing. I shared that with you guys.
Yeah.
I think you can be up to $270
for a convertible version.
Yeah,
so
which we wouldn't want.
$255,000 for a 3LZ coupe.
Yeah. Now allocations are hard. I think I shared with you. My friend who has like 15 Corvettes,
can't get
who's
one.
bought a lot. He's number 8.
Yeah.
On a list at a dealership where they likely will only get 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
this is tough. It's one of those cars we were so close to getting brand new. And then as the years go by, it just getting further and further away. Mm-hmm. COVID didn't help. The whole incident with them losing a ship full of their cars didn't help. Their sales, how they're not doing as well as they expected. Their profit margins or something like that was down to 10% compared to 20%.
Right. But that's not related. That's related to the doubling on ICE and abandoning some of the electrical.
EVs, yeah,
and reinvesting in hybrid technology, like going hybrid, and I think they lost about $850 million.
There you go. All right, everyone. That wraps up episode. What are your picks? What are you going to be picking for your 5 dream car garage? Let us know in the comments below as well. Thank you all once again for commenting, providing feedback on what we're doing and so on. It helps us kind of continue doing this further as well. So we'll see you all in the next one. Thank you all for watching.